everyone, welcome back. I am LotusMaje. I am a self-taught diviner, and today, if you see the thumbnail, you clicked on this video, you obviously know that we're doing a reading today on Beyonce and her half siblings. I had a commenter, I had someone request that I do a reading on this, and so here I am. I'm gonna see, what is it? Was it Brianna Lawson was the name? I didn't know her and Brianna Lawson. If it's the Brianna Lawson I'm thinking of, like from, she's like never aged, she's like a vampire, she's never aged, Brianna Lawson, if that is her half sibling or, you know, her half sister or whatnot, definitely interested to see how their relationship dynamic is, because this is something I haven't heard neither one of them mention, but then also just kind of like the other siblings that Beyonce has. So with all of that being said, we're going to get into this reading and see kind of the overall energies, emotions that is coming up here with between Beyonce and her siblings. So yes, I guess we could also do one of like her and Solange, because I know for a minute there was rumored that they fell out, but apparently it's also a rumor that they are making a song together, allegedly. Just to have the verbal, just to also have a verbal disclaimer in here, as you can see at the bottom of this video and within the comment section, as you see in the bottom of this video, and also as you will see down in the description of this video, all the opinions, statements expressed in this video are of my own. They do not belong to anyone else. They are made not as facts. They are not, you know, made with, all statements and opinions expressed in my videos are my own. This does not mean that they should be taken as fact or as gospel or as some kind of medical, legal, professional advice of any kind. This is simply all, you know, tarot, which is based off of my intuitive reading for entertainment purposes. Everything stated in this video is alleged. So as you can see, again, the disclaimer at the bottom of this video and within the description box and with this verbal one should be triple sealed to let you know that this is just all for fun. So with that, I'm going to get into this reading on Beyonce and her siblings. I mean, I have to say that just because people will try to come after you about stuff, and it's just like, okay, this is intuitive reading. I'm not a seer. I'm not some kind of like know-it-all. I'm not source itself, so I can't give you all and everything. So things are subject to change. Things are subject to change. I can never say that right. So I just have to cover my bases, and because people will like to sue you. And just to keep that from happening, especially because I'm a smaller creator. Oop, let's see what's stuck. The Three of Cups. You know, because I'm a smaller creator as well, I just know people will probably come after me more than they would someone who is probably more likely to have the bucks. So let's see. How does Beyonce, how does the musician, singer, songwriter Beyonce feel about her half sibling Brianna Lawson? It's a lot of things that's like flipping over. Hold on, I also have something on the ground here that's real. Okay, let's see. So as you can see, we have the Fool, we have the Prince of Cups, we have the Ten of Discs, the Nine of Swords, and the Three of Discs. So I'm just going to note these, but I'm going to ask again to be sure. There we go. I had to get my camera to focus. Sorry. Make sure it's, there we go. Okay, it's doing what it's supposed to. So I do have the Prince of Cups. So to me, this reads as if there isn't any ill-loved loss between them. There isn't any kind of like ill feelings. I think it's just all, I think there is some love between the relationship between her and Brianna Lawson. I don't think she thinks of her in a negative way. I think they just also kind of like, they're both two grown women in their own spaces about things. I think maybe she thinks it's also cool to kind of be associated with Brianna Lawson, and Brianna Lawson probably sees it the same way. But I think they're both very private people. And so I think they kind of just respect that about each other as well. The underlying energy here is that we also have the high priestess. So to me, this just kind of feels like there's a mutual understanding there of like, you know, whether it's, you know, we don't really care about being siblings like that, or it's nice to have it, or we, you know, kind of been through that shared struggle experience together. We know how it is in Hollywood, and we're okay with like not doing it. And obviously I think that shows and the actions that they have exhibited so far. So let's see how Brianna Lawson feels about Beyonce. To me, I'm seeing the Seven of Cups, and benefits is just coming to mind. And I don't know if it's just a thing of like they both see it as being a benefit that they're kind of like in relation or in proximity to each other. But I do think it's a some point of like there's some kind of sticky situation here that's in between them. I don't know. Again, I don't know if this is which parent of Beyonce's, you know, made it possible for her and Brianna Lawson to be half siblings, but I don't know if that may be the case, or if it's again kind of like that shared experience of we're in Hollywood together and we know how weird people get about stuff, like how people try to use this as an opportunity for certain things. Opportunity of like, you know, hey, if we can get you in, maybe you can get so and so, and it's like no, not vice versa. We like to both be in our own separate lanes as well. I can see that it's some kind of stickler point or some point of avoidance, I think, between the two, that they kind of like going back to that mutual thing I was saying of like they've kind of mutually agreed to not address it. Like both of them tap dance around it and don't mention anything about it. Oh, and lastly, before I really start shuffling, there is a death card here in reverse. To me, it just seems like, yeah, they don't have that kind of like, to me, it feels like we don't have that kind of closeness like that. It's not like how I would expect if I was to do a reading on her and Solange. Like I would expect her meaning Beyonce and Solange to be as thick as thieves, you know what I'm saying? Because they actually grew up in the house together. They're blood related on both, you know, from both the mother and the father kind of thing. I think it's a different type of experience there. There is a bit of like shielding here as well, of like walls, boundaries, or something that's coming up with this as well. So yeah, between Beyonce and Brianna, just to be clear. And so let's see how Beyonce feels about her other half siblings. That's understandable. So this just reads like paranoia energy to me from Beyonce, and you know, rightfully so. Not saying like it's a bad thing, rightfully so. When you have people that kind of come into your life, whether it's for a season, for a reason, or for a lifetime, you, especially for someone like her who is in the field that she is in, she's, you know, she works in this space where there are so many users and abusers and people who will use you to get quick or for a buck. I'm gonna slide this over actually and do this so you can see them all on the screen. Like, it's totally understandable why she kind of feels she has to be careful, or that it is a tightrope act in how she interacts and frequents with those siblings, because anyone will use their proximity to you or their access to you and what you tell them or what you divulge to them as a way of like getting rich. You know, we've seen that happen time and time again. I mean, hell, look at Meghan Markle and her half sister. Was it her half sister, older sister that's like that? So it makes complete sense why she's kind of like guarded like that. And I think that's something her and Brianna Lawson kind of have in common. And that's why she's also kind of guarded with her other half siblings. Let's see here if we can get any more clarity or information on this sibling relationship between Brianna Lawson and Beyonce. Okay. Yep. So we have the owl here, which speaks to wisdom and insight. We also have the wolf here. This also speaks to like pack behavior, like keeping your friends close, who's around you, what's going on. Are people really to be trusted? It can also speak to kind of like a whole lot of playing victim and villain at the same time. She said it, not me, guys. And then we also have, I want to say that's thunder. So of course it speaks to a lot of, I'm about to just check and make sure. Make sure number 12 is thunder. Yeah, lightning, sorry. So yeah, the release of drama, destruction, insight. She definitely feels like there's a guard or anything that something that she has to keep up. She has to make sure there's some kind of separation, that there isn't, that there's a sense of like us being close and familial and like getting along for the optics of it all, or because I really want the desire to kind of know more about you, but I also know I can never really treat you like that. Like it's kind of like keep your friends close but your enemies closer, or treating you with like a long candle spoon is the energy I'm getting. It's what I understand it to be. And then we also have 41, which I had to check because I want to say this is the winter. Yep, is being aware of kind of like, how can I say it? It's like Beyonce is very aware and cognitive of kind of like how optics play a large role in her life. So she's always kind of seeing long term. She's playing end game. She's looking into the future kind of thing. I think I should lay that like that. Well, let's see. Can I get any more clarifying cards on Beyonce's relationship and energy surrounding her and her half siblings? I think something flipped over in here, didn't it? Yep. I always get this dreaming layers. So there's a lot of celestial stuff here, because even the owl and the transparent oracle also speaks to kind of like a higher meaning, a higher divinity here. And then you also have the dream speaking and the dreaming layers. And then it was also, what is this one again? The inflammatory response. Yeah, this is just making sure I watch what people say, because, any little word from somebody like them will fan flames and lend a lot of credibility to a lot of things people say or want to think about me or already believe about me or want to believe about me. Yep, definitely speaks to, they are both star-crossed, speaks to a big gamble, a risk of like, again, straddling the line of like, how close is too close and how far is too far, of what's bring you into my confidence but still just trusting you, without you kind of being alerted to something and knowing and feeling like you have to get back at me kind of thing. That's kind of like the energy I'm getting. Like, I want you to feel comfortable around me or have some kind of like adoration or love or a sense of loyalty. I think it's probably the better way of saying there's some kind of sense of loyalty to me. But I also don't want to kind of like bring you in on anything too pertinent about me and my life that you could later, if one day we fall out or if something happened, things change, or if the right price come along and you are ready to spill your ever-loving guts and everything about me. I think there is something here of like, she wished things weren't this way. She wished they could be closer, they could share more, but I think she's just like, the reality of it is I'm a celebrity of a certain caliber, and with that comes the need to keep a separation from certain people, even if those people are my family, quote unquote, you know, because I don't think family is just because, oh, we're related by blood. It's really just how you treat me and interact with me and how you make me feel, and if you keep my secrets and you're always out to protect me, and speak to, like, yes, you could speak to me in a blunt way, but it's never just with maliciousness, it's with love. And so that's what I kind of feel is the overall energy between her, Bianca Lawson, and her half siblings. I don't think there's much surprise with that. And lastly, let's see for a gauge here, Beyonce and Solange. What is the overall energies between Beyonce and Solange? And these came out earlier. We have the Fool and we have the Three of Discs. So there's work and collaboration here. It's funny that the Three of Discs is here because allegedly the rumor is that her, Solange, and what's her name? Whoo, Ariana Grande are collaborating on something right now. So I think it's family. It's always a fun time. It's like fresh kid energy here, but it's also like this. We also know when it's time to play business. And I think that's something Beyonce should count herself to be very lucky for when it comes to her family. I think a lot of her family has realized, or she has taught them over the years, that, you know, when it's time to play, it's time to play. Just know that, you know, these memories are going to have to exist in the moment. They can't always be something that's, you know, recorded or a risk of getting out there. But it's also a time for, like, hey, when we're ready to work, we're ready to get things done. We're ready to get things done, and there's no changing or stopping that. Like, we know when it's time to separate things, and I think that's something she should count. She should count as a what they call it, as like a plus, a blessing when it comes to her family, because some people family don't understand that at all. And again, the underlying cards here, we have the Four of Wands. So I think there is a lot of harmony between her and her siblings. Whether we are exposed to it or not, it could be that she is still something of, like, you know, maybe she's even closer to her siblings than what I'm picking up on in this reading. But again, it's just we know it's time, when it's time to work, and we know it's the time for when to play. And, you know, when we're changing those gears, or if you need understanding around those boundaries, we get it. But we also still have the same respect and mutual understanding that things that's about family, there's loyalty to family that should be kept quiet, because it's gonna help all of us. It's like a very, like, we're on one accord, and if we have a beef about something, I'm going to address you about it personally instead of bringing it out here on the blogs, because it's not going to look good for any of us if, you know, it's, you know, God forbid something was to blow up and it just blows back on the entire family, and none of us are able to, you know, live in harmony and do what we need to moving forward. But I will say, I do want to highlight these cards as well. There is some fakery. Is that the words of Mary J. Blige? Some fakery in this dancery, because we do have the Nine of Swords here. So this speaks to anxiety. And again, this could always be the anxiety of those that surround me, could potentially stab me in the back kind of thing. Or, you know, they know too much about me. They could say something, etc. And then we also have the Lovers in reverse, and I don't know if this could be speaking to just kind of like the relationship or the breakdown between kind of like her mom and Beyonce's mom, Tina, and their dad, allegedly. Well, it's not allegedly, they did break down, they got a divorce, so it's no alleged I really need to say about that. But I don't know if this is something about that, or some separation, or people just don't like that Beyonce is married to. I'm not sure what this Lovers card is coming up from, to be honest. And then we do also have the King of Discs. This makes me think of Beyonce's dad, to be honest. So yeah, I think that is probably the wedge there, that maybe her family is still in such close proximity to her dad, and she kind of still has a sore spot about that or something. Or, you know, he could still have a sore spot about who Beyonce is married to now. And then we also have the Wheel of Fortune. So again, it's still speaking to, like, this family knows when it's time to hustle, when it's time not to. And so let's see here. We also have intuitive navigation. Yeah, that makes sense. Unique frequency. Definitely trying to find that balance that's of, you know, work-life balance. I don't know how else to put it. As a family, knowing that work-life balance. So yeah, everyone, that's what I'm getting for this reading. I mean, it's not as juicy as probably some of you thought. I think this is nice. It doesn't feel like panicky energy. It's just kind of like, it just feels very adult. Like, I know things can change. I love you. You know, even when you're talking about me or potentially gonna rat me out or something like that, like, I still love you, but I also got to be careful with you. I got to treat you with kid gloves and with a long handle spoon. And we get it, and there's certain things we just gonna not talk about. We're gonna tiptoe around, and we're gonna put our heads down and keep it moving as a family, because it's much more on the line than just like our reputations or monetary things. Like, we have kids and stuff like that to think about. We have generational wealth and all of that we have to think about. And I kind of feel like if it's not her father or like her grandmother, whoever the matriarch and patriarch of her family is, I think they kind of like really drilled it home with them of just like, you know, there's like, y'all, your feuds y'all can fight with each other, y'all can argue, y'all can tussle, but just know when you're in this family, there's a certain way we go about handling discourse and handling business and handling matters of the heart. Like, because we are looking forward, we're not trying to mess things up. So it will be interesting to go back and look at this video and kind of see some of the other things that I overlooked and can later pick out. So yes, and thank you to, hold on, I'm gonna give you a personal shout out because Taya, I am so sorry if I'm mispronouncing this, Taya Bass 9343 for the recommendation to do this reading. If you have more recommendations for me, let me know down in the comments section below. Subscribe if you would like to see more videos like this, and ring the notification bell so you can see the next time I upload. And with that, everyone, you have a great one, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.